Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Istanbul for the inaugural UEFA Europa Conference League group stage draw. Hello, Laura. I like it how you have the colors of the new competition.
I was so excited about the new competition, so I had to wear green today. We're in the afternoon. And also a big hello from my side. We're here for a brand new competition, and this competition gives more and more teams the chance to compete on a European level.
It does indeed. Now we are joined today by representatives from the teams that will be undertaking this new jersey together. And it promises to be quite the adventure. Qualifying began back on the 6th of July, and over the course of 4 rounds of two-legged ties, 184 teams from UEFA's 55 member associations have been whittled down to just 22 who have advanced to the group stage, and then together with 10 teams eliminated from the UEFA Europa League playoff round, they are here today.
Yes, and each and every one of those clubs shares the same dream to make history by becoming the first team to win this competition.
That's exactly right. And our first guest this evening brings the prize those teams will be competing for. Here to reveal the UEFA Europa Conference League trophy for the first time, please welcome on stage the UEFA President, Untitled Chapter. Welcome, good to see you in Istanbul, and this is an historic occasion, President, because we have a new competition, new trophy, and it's really about giving more clubs from more national associations an opportunity to taste that UEFA competition feel. How important is it for you to ensure that and for more fans to dream of European glory?
Football is inclusion. Football is our history. Football is our passion. And everybody has to have a chance to dream, to play European competition. And I think that this competition shows that small countries can play with bigger countries. Everybody can play with everyone. Football is not a sport only for elite. It's not a sport for only the richest people in the world. It's our sport, and it cannot be taken away from us.
Wow, very, very exciting. Trophy looks amazing. How about the reactions of the new competition?
The reactions from national associations were great. When you see that big associations, small and middle size, are so unanimous about something, you are excited. Of course, you also, at the beginning, we had some critics that criticize everything. But then they stopped because they see that this is a serious competition. It's a very serious competition.
President, thank you for adding insight to this new competition. We're all really looking forward to it. And now I can ask you to please go to your seat so you can enjoy the rest of the show and the draw as well. Thank you very much, the UEFA President, Untitled Chapter. This season's final will be played at the National Stadium in Tirana on the 25th of May, and our next guest is regarded as something of a legend in Albania.
He is. His country's a record holder, and he was a French Cup winner with PSG, a Coppa Italia winner with Lazio, and he's also the ambassador for this year's final.
And please welcome on stage Lorik Cana.
Hello, Lorik.
Hello.
We do it like this.
Lorik,
okay, great.
Welcome. If you can move closer to us and the trophy, it's a pleasure to have you here. Now, you had a fantastic career, played in huge clubs and big leagues. You played in France, Italy, England, and you played right here in Turkey as well. What was your career highlight, would you say?
Well, let's say if you look back on overall, most of the kids with the passion of football want to try to reach the highest level, and I'm pretty proud and happy what I reached with my career with my clubs. Having the possibility to start with PSG, being able to play with a club you are a fan as a young kid, which was Olympique Marseille, to make it to Olympique Marseille, come here to Galatasaray and Lazio. Overall, the whole career is a pretty great achievement. The competition of the Europa competition champions or Europa League, but as a not only as a football player, but mostly as a person, my journey with the national team definitely was my biggest proud.
This year's final is going to be played in Tirana, in the national stadium. Can you tell us something more about the stadium?
Well, the stadium, it's, let's say, it's a kind of image or kind of message like these rising countries of the Balkans want to send. We are, let's say, kind of a moment of renaissance for our countries. As the image of the country and the city, it's a young city. The stadium is absolutely amazing. It's a completely modern, new, one of the most newest stadium in Europe. It's very attractive. It's right in the middle of the town. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be an amazing host. We're going to be a very warm host, but even the people will be able to travel. They will be right in the middle of the city and enjoying this beautiful country, which is Albania.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I think Albania should be proud that it gets the opportunity to host the first ever final, and I'm sure we'll enjoy it. Lorik, it's great to have you here for the draw. If I can please ask you to take your position at the table, because you're going to be helping out, find out how the groups will turn out. There's a lot of football to be played yet, though. Before we get to that final, we're going to focus on the draw tonight.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, give a big applause to our final ambassador of this year's final in the UEFA Europa Conference League. And now it's time to introduce you our special guests who will be helping with today's draw as well. And I'm delighted to welcome a former Turkey international who starred in European competitions for the likes of Beşiktaş, Real Sociedad and Villarreal. Please welcome Nihat Kahveci. Nihat, hello. Great to have you here today.
Nihat, welcome, bienvenido. It's fantastic to have you here in your home city of Istanbul. What makes this city so special to you? ¿Qué hace esta ciudad tan especial para ti?
Bienvenido a todos a nuestro país, a Turquía, y una ciudad tan guapa, maravillosa como Estambul. De verdad que estamos muy contentos por veros aquí. Espero que estáis disfrutando muchísimo. Los que han venido conocen a Turquía y Estambul muy bien. Siempre quieren venir otra vez aquí para disfrutar, comer bien y pasear y ver Gran Pazar. Y los que vienen primera vez, esperábamos que vienen más. Y el año que viene también esperamos aquí.
Great promotion of Istanbul and Turkey as well. Well done, Nihat.
You played European club competition. What makes you very excited about the new one?
De verdad que tengo muchísima suerte que he jugado en Champions League, en Copa de UEFA, Eurocopa y Copa del Mundial y en todo. Ahora hay 9 competiciones, Europa Conference League. Deseo muchísima suerte a los equipos. Me gustaría que abra equipos turcos, pero este año no hay. Espero que el año siguiente va a haber equipos turcos y vamos a disfrutar más. Pero esta nueva competición es muy importante que habrá más equipos que van a jugar en Eurocopa. Por eso es muy importante. Deseo muchísima suerte y vamos a disfrutar muchísimo viendo estos partidos.
Nihat, thank you for being here to help us out with the draw. If I can please ask you to take your position as well, and joining Lorik as we continue to count down.
Yes! Time to get the draw underway, so please welcome UEFA Deputy General Secretary Giorgio Marchetti and Michael Hesselschwert, UEFA Head of Club Competitions.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real pleasure to be with you today for the first ever group stage draw of our brand new competition, the UEFA Europa Conference League. This new baby of the family makes UEFA club competitions more inclusive than ever before, with 16 additional places overall, and it will ensure that at least 34 UEFA national associations are represented in the group stage of one of our 3 club competitions. Not only will there be more matches for more clubs, but the winner will be rewarded with a guaranteed place in the UEFA Europa League group stage of the following season. Congratulations to all the clubs who went successfully through the qualification phase and are now eagerly awaiting to know their opponents in such a fascinating new experience. We firmly believe that their fans and players will appreciate this exciting adventure, where one club will write history by lifting for the first time ever the UEFA Europa Conference League trophy at the National Stadium in Tirana on 25th May 2022.
That's right. I think you can feel the excitement here on stage because we know this is history in the making. Let's take a look at the technical procedure for the inaugural UEFA Europa Conference League draw.
The 32 teams have been allocated to 4 pots in accordance with the seeding principles, based on the UEFA club coefficients. Pot 1 will comprise the top 8 clubs in the club coefficient rankings, Pot 2 the following 8 clubs in the rankings, and so on for pots 3 and 4. For TV coverage reasons, clubs from the same association are paired in order to split their kick-off times, that is, one early and one late. For this reason, the 8 groups will be distinguished by colours. Groups A to D will be red, and groups E to H will be blue. When a paired club is drawn, for example into a red group, A to D, the other paired club, once it has been drawn, will automatically be assigned to one of the 4 blue groups, E to H. Please also note that based on a decision taken by the UEFA Executive Committee, teams from Azerbaijan and Armenia shall not be drawn in the same group. In addition, pairing principles will also be applied between UEL and UECL. Therefore, in the case of associations with 1 representative in the UEFA Europa Conference League group stage and 1 representative in the UEFA Europa League group stage, these clubs will also be paired so that their matches kick off at different times. In the case of associations with 1 representative in the UEFA Europa Conference League group stage and 3 representatives in the UEFA Europa League group stage, the UEFA Europa Conference League club will be paired with the unpaired club in the UEFA Europa League group stage. In the case of associations with 3 representatives in the UEFA Europa Conference League group stage and 1 representative in the UEFA Europa League group stage, the unpaired UEFA Europa Conference League club will be paired with the club in the UEFA Europa League group stage. A ball is drawn at random from pot 1. The team drawn is placed in the first available group in alphabetical order from A to H, as indicated by the computer. For example, if the team drawn has all 8 options from A to H available, it will be automatically allocated to Group A. In a similar way, if the team drawn has only 6 options available from C to H, it will be automatically allocated to Group C, and so on. It must be noted that the number of options available to a team depends not only on the team's own attributes, for example, winter venue, and those of the teams already drawn, but also on the attributes of the other teams still to be drawn. This is due to the computer calculations needed to anticipate all possible scenarios and to prevent any deadlock situation. This procedure will allocate all teams to the various groups. Then it will be repeated for the teams in pots 2, 3 and 4 in that order. At the end of the draw, a computer will assign the final positions of the teams within their group. These positions will determine the order of the home and away matches, as well as defining which matches are played with an early or late kick-off. The match calendar will be released on Saturday morning at the latest.
Now we know the procedure, we can begin the draw. Reminder that there are 32 clubs in today's draw. Pot 1 represents the 8 top-seeded teams, which, as you can see, include plenty of clubs with European experience, including AS Roma, Tottenham Hotspur, and FC Basel, among others. Giorgio, you can do the honors.
Thank you, Pedro. We all feel the solemnity of the moment, and Lorik, you will be remembered as the man who kicked off a new European tournament. So the ball is in front of you, and you can start this fantastic new match.
Here we go. Lorik, the final ambassador for Tirana, taking out the first team drawn in the Conference League.
Lask.
So the first club ever drawn in the group stage of a UEFA Conference League is Lask from Austria, and Lask is allocated to Group A. So now we want to know another club, so please. Lask participating in the group stage of a UEFA club competition for the 3rd season in a row. Lask in Group A, and now
KAA Gent.
so Gent from Belgium, Group B for KAA Gent. Another club can be drawn. Also the 3rd successive season for Gent in the group stage of a UEFA club competition.
AS Roma.
AS Roma. So Group C for Jose Mourinho's new team. And Roma, which have qualified from their group stage in 12 of the last 13 seasons. And ready to start this new competition.
AZ Alkmaar.
And now AZ Alkmaar can be allocated to Group D. So AZ, UEFA Cup finalists 40 years ago, 1981, are in Group D.
SK Slavia Praha.
Slavia Praha. And for Slavia, we have Group E as the first available group. So Slavia, they reached the UEFA Europa League quarter-finals in 2 of the last 3 seasons.
FC Copenhagen.
Now it's the turn of FC Copenhagen, and Group F is their group. So Group of Copenhagen, quarter-finalists in 2020 of the UEFA Europa League, and now in Group F of Conference League.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham Hotspur, Group G for the Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur. The last team needs to be drawn.
Completing pot 1 here with the next ball.
Tottenham ready to add another trophy to their titles. They have 3 European titles.
FC Basel.
And the last team of pot 1 is FC Basel. FC Basel taking now their place in Group H.
Thank you, Giorgio. 8 teams drawn, so let's move on to pot number 2, which includes clubs, for example, like Maccabi Tel Aviv, PAOK, and Feyenoord. Michael, now it's your
Thank you,
turn.
Ron. I guess we are ready. Just quick shuffle. Yeah, it's all yours. First team to be drawn out of pot 2 of this new competition.
Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Maccabi Tel Aviv will be joining Group A with last wins. Regular contender in our competition, Maccabi Tel Aviv. Next team to be drawn.
Partizan.
Partizan. They will be allocated in Group B, which means they will be joining KAA Gent. They've been European Cup finalists in 1966. Team number
3. Feyenoord.
Feyenoord has been allocated to Group E. Group E for Feyenoord, where they will be joining SK Slavia Praha. Feyenoord, one of 3 winners of the European Cup winners. Sorry, they won European Cup winners and twice the UEFA Cup.
PAOK.
PAOK will be allocated to Group F. Group F for PAOK, where they will be joining FC Copenhagen. Halfway through pot number 2.
Zorya Luhansk.
Zorya Luhansk from the Ukraine will be put into Group C, where they will be joining AS Roma. 4th appearance in the group stage of UEFA club competitions within the last 6 seasons for Zorya Luhansk.
Stade Rennais.
Stade Rennais from France will be allocated into Group G, where they will be joining the Spurs from England. Last 2 teams in pot 2, 2 at stake.
Cluj.
Will be CFR 1907 Cluj from Romania, and their allocation is Group D. Group D, where they'll be joining AZ Alkmaar. And the last one already of pot number 2.
Karabakh.
Karabakh FK from Azerbaijan will be allocated in the Group H. Group H, where they will be meeting FC Basel. And that's it already from pot 2. Back to your table. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael and Nihat. We're halfway through the draw and already some intriguing matches to look forward to in these groups. Perhaps I can pick out Group E with Slavia Praha and Feyenoord, also Tottenham and Stade Rennais in Group G. In pot 3, we have plenty more quality across the teams that are present in this section. Teams like Union Berlin, CSKA Sofia, and Armenian side Alash Kent. So Alash Kent, Armenian side who are participating in UEFA competition in the group stages for the first time. Back over to you.
Yes, thank you, Pedro. And without hesitation, we can already restart with Lorik and see more of these groups coming up. And here we go.
Alashkert FC.
Alashkert FC, so the first time an Armenian club participates in the group stage. And Alashkert goes into Group A together with Lask and Maccabi Tel Aviv.
FC Flora Tallinn.
Flora Tallinn, it's another premiere. It's a club from Estonia, first time ever in group stage. And Flora Tallinn joins Group B. Group B is now composed by Gent, Partizan and Flora Tallinn.
Next club to be drawn by Lorik is
CSKA Sofia.
CSKA Sofia, so from Bulgaria into Group C. So CSKA Sofia will face the opposition of AS Roma and FC Zorya Luhansk. The only Bulgarian club which has reached the semi-finals of the European Champions Cup twice.
FC Union Berlin.
FC Union Berlin, and our conditions tell us that the group for Union Berlin is Group E. Slavia Praha, Feyenoord and Union Berlin, which comes back to the European stage after 20 years.
SK Slovan Bratislava.
Slovan Bratislava is joining Group F. Group F for Slovan, together with FC Copenhagen and PAOK FC. Slovan Bratislava which won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1969.
Vitesse.
And now the Netherlands with Vitesse from Arnhem. And Vitesse is allocated to Group G, where they find the Tottenham Hotspur and Stade Rennais. Two
balls
groups
left.
are still available, Group D, Group H.
FC Kairat Almaty.
And the first is Kairat Almaty. Kairat Almaty are allocated to Group H together with FC Basel and Karabakh. First appearance for Kairat Almaty in UEFA Champions, in UEFA competition group stage.
FK Jablonec.
And this is the last club completing pot number 3. Thank you very much. FK Jablonec, the last group available for Jablonec is Group D, together with AZ Alkmaar and Cluj.
As you said, Giorgio, that completes pot number 3. 3 of our 4 teams in each group have now been drawn, and there's already some standout matches. You already mentioned Group E, Slavia, Feyenoord, Union. Wow, high quality in this competition as well. And now we're looking forward for the last and final pot number 4, featuring some interesting clubs like Maccabi Haifa, Helsinki, and Bodo Glimt. Michael?
Thank you, Laura.
You.
As always, we shuffle first. Last pot. Nihat, up to you. So, let's see.
Final round of
first
the draw,
team.
where all the groups will be completed, and Nihat will help us
Exactly.
complete the first one.
Yeah.
Maccabi Haifa.
Maccabi Haifa from Israel will be joining Group E. And this means they'll be featuring Slavia Prague, Feyenoord and Union Berlin as their opponents.
Helsinki.
HJK Helsinki will be allocated to Group A, joining Las Klins, Maccabi Tel Aviv and Alashkert FC.
Famagusta.
Anatosis Famagusta will be added to Group B. Complementing this group and facing KAA Gent, FK Partizan and FC Flora Tallinn in this Group B. Fourth team in pot 4.
Bodo Glimt.
And it's Bodo Glimt, one of our newcomers, will be allocated to Group C. Complementing this group, together with AS Roma, FC Soja Luhansk and PSV CSKA Sofia. Okay. 4 teams to go, 4 groups available.
Randers.
Randers FC, another newcomer. Welcome to the group phases of the UEFA club competitions, to be put in Group D. Here they will be facing AZ Alkmaar, Cluj and FK Jablonec. 3 teams to go, 3 open groups.
Lincoln Red.
Lincoln Redins, one more newcomer, will be put in Group F. Welcome to the first ever team represented in our club competitions, Lincoln Redins.
Mura.
NS Mura, one more newcomer, will be put into Group G, where they will be meeting Tottenham Hotspur, Stade Rennais and Vitesse. And the last team of this competition draw,
Omonia.
Omonia FC from Cyprus complements Group H, where they will be facing FC Basel, Karabakh, FK and FC Kairat Almaty. That's it from our side. Back to you.
Fantastic. So there we have it, the first ever lineup of groups in this competition. Let's go through those groups in alphabetical order, starting, of course, with Group A, where we have LASK, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Alashkert, and AJK Helsinki. In Group B, it's Gent, Partizan, Flora Tallinn, and Arnautosis Famagusta. In Group C, AS Roma, Zorya Luhansk, CSKA Sofia, and Bodo Glimt. And in Group D, AZ Alkmaar, Cluj, Jablonec, and Randers.
I start with Group E, Slavia Prague, Feyenoord, Union Berlin, and Maccabi Haifa. Group F, Copenhagen, PAOK, Slovan Bratislava, and Lincoln Red Imps. Group G, Tottenham Hotspur, Stade Rennais, Vitesse, and Mura. And Group H, FC Basel, Karabakh, Kairat Almaty, and Omonia.
There we have it.
Wow. Very, very exciting. A totally new competition, the first ever draw. So big thank you to our special guest, final ambassador, and our special guest. Thank you so much. And a big thank you, of course, to Michael and Giorgio.
That's right. The UEFA Europa Conference League group stage kicks off on Thursday, the 16th of September, so mark your calendars. And may I take this opportunity to wish the best of luck to all of the clubs involved.
Here is to an exciting first season of UEFA Europa Conference League football. From all of us here in Istanbul, goodbye and thanks for watching.
Goodbye.